Were you the author, creator, or inventor of something? If so, how did you come about it?
I've been an author of a couple articles,
Okay.
and I think that's a push here not only at Otterbein, but I see that's one of the big changes I see in athletic training as well is how much the research side of things has become enhanced. So, my doctorate degree is in higher education, administration, leadership, but also a minor in ed psych. So the ed psych of learning processes is really what intrigues me. I wish I would have reversed those minors and majors, and at the end of the day, you don't know what you don't know. But working with some of my colleagues here, especially Shelley Payne, on self-directed learning techniques and team-based learning, and how that has enhanced our students, and also really putting an emphasis on undergraduate research. So I've been really lucky to be able to work with some quality students on some research projects, which fortunately for us have resulted in some publications, and also resulted in some really good poster presentations at OATA, and at GLADA. So that would be probably one of my bigger things. I'm not I've never gravitated, I should say, towards the scholarship side of things, but I call it a necessary evil to be able to go through the ranks here. So, but it's also opened up some doors for me, and it's really, it's one of those things where you do learn. And that's the part of it I like. I like the teaching and the service side of this position more than anything else in the world, but you have to do some scholarship to maintain and keep up with tenure requirements and potential promotion opportunities as well. So.
Would you explain at all how your practice or philosophy has changed throughout your career?
I think as a young professional, especially as a teacher, I really jumped in and wanted to make sure that students knew every single thing, and that I just class started at 9 and it went to 11, that we were there 9 to 11, and and I had make sure you have homework, make sure you have this done, make sure you this and this. And over time, my philosophy's evolved a little bit. I realized that it's more about the quality of what you're doing than the quantity. I learned that pretty quickly, because when you overburden and bury students with information, and you can see the blank stares in their face, you're not going to, it's just not going to work. And so what I prefer to do is try to figure out a way, and where I've changed, and this is where my grad school doctorate degree has helped quite a bit, is understanding how students learn a little bit better, how I can match some teaching pedagogies to their learning techniques, and then really try to find that switch in them, that light bulb, that, oh, I get it. So it's a constant challenge, especially in today's day and age of technology, to really, do you let students bring their phones and laptops and all that into the classroom and let them use it? There's pros and cons to that, but my philosophy on that has really changed. If that helps them, then great. If it's better to, take handwritten notes, then fine. If it's better to have a one-on-one conversation, or what visuals can I find for you, whatever the case is. I remember my first couple years just doing the traditional lecture. And today, that just doesn't happen for us anymore. We do some lecture, but it's always broken up. It's always, 10 or 15 minutes here, then okay, let's jump up on the tables, let's do this, or let's show you a video, let's get the markers out, there's just a whole litany of things that we like to do in the classroom that really changes things up and really pushes the students and challenges them to really kind of figure out what's the best learning process for them, and then how can we make it work, and then how can we make it stick. Because at the end of the day, you can go the black and white method of just memorization. This is what you need to know for the test. I've never been a big fan of teaching to the test. Unfortunately, now that we have to post our passing rates, we've had to change that philosophy a little bit, which I'm not a fan of, but it is what it is. But because we want our students to be lifelong learners, we want them to be good critical thinkers, and I think you can do that and still get good test results and develop a really good product. But there is more of that emphasis on, okay, this stuff has to stick because you've got to pass this exam the first time. So there's that little more of a pressure element with that. I've always been a believer that you have your certification up on the wall, and it doesn't say it took me 1, 2, or 3 times to pass. It just says you're certified. So at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. But
Do you have any final comments or anything that you would like to share?
I don't think so. I just really hope that, and anybody that might see this can realize that it is very important to stress athletic training and use both words and make sure the public understands that. It's, like most athletic trainers, when I hear announcers and sportcasters say, "Oh, the trainer's on the field," it just drives me nuts. And but I think it's a never-ending process where you have to educate, and that's very important. I love it when my family is always all over announcers now that, "Hey, they said trainer," and I'm like, "Yes." They know. They absolutely know they'll get in trouble, but if they say the wrong terminology. But they also respect that too, so they understand that. They have a really good understanding of what we do. And so I think it's just really important to, I think we have to have a little bit of patience. We're still relatively young. It'll be interesting to see where the master's entry level process goes. Whether that's a good move or bad move, time always tells. And I think it'll be good because we'll have some pretty good opportunities to do some different things educationally. It's going to streamline programs a little bit, I think. There's different schools of thought out there on that, but I do think it's going to streamline, from my seat, schools, which I think will make us a little bit more competitive. So on that side of things, I think it could be good. I still worry about just the salary side of things and adding another year or two of graduate tuition on to young students that are going to have more debt, and the salaries aren't matching that. So that's really my biggest concern with that. But the educational side, I think, will be phenomenal. I think it'll be a good move. But so other than that, I think we just keep educating and keep pushing for that respect. I think that is there. It's really good to see young professionals get involved. I love seeing the OATA Young Professionals Committee doing different things. Again, I've been fortunate to have quite a few good role models ahead of me that I learned from. From the Bill Coyus to Kim Peer has been a huge one for me. And of course Lisa, she's probably the top of the list as far as not only work ethic, but really being very adamant about how wonderful a profession athletic training is. So there's been some really good leaders in the OAT that have led the way, and working with some really strong. I think it's important to. I don't mean this in any other way, but some strong females are important to balance the profession, and I do think it's balanced right now. But from Lisa to Kim to the Holly Kozaks of the world, they've done a really good job, representing who we are and where we should go, and they have a really good vision for athletic training. So I think if the young professionals can keep looking at that, I think that's a really good thing.
Awesome. Thank you.